like animals who like to bite, tasting all disaster. 20-something seconds go on and on. 20-something seconds go. I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. I know we can do better. I'm not ready for darkness. If we promise to hold on and to never let go, I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. Hey, 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 hey. I'm ready to absorb you, feeding on your triggered lies. My ignorance defines you. The roof is gonna cave in, roaring with some dinosaurs, so caught up in the moment. 20-something seconds go on and on. 20-something seconds go. I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. I know we can do better. I'm not ready for darkness. If we promise to hold on and to never let go, I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. Hey, 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 hey. If we promise to hold on and to never let go, I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for. I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. I know we can do better. I'm not ready for darkness. If we promise to hold on and to never let go, I'm not ready for darkness. I'm not ready for darkness. Hey, 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 water, rolling down the mountain, and running into the sea. Can't you feel my heartbeat? Steady as a drum, babe. Steady as a drum, babe. I'm crawling with me. No, time moves slow. Feel it in your soul. Let me hear you go. I wanna feel the water rising, washes over me. I wanna run with the water, but it pulls me out to sea. Don't you feel the yearning, burning within, yearning for the skin of the one you cannot win? So come a little closer, deep inside your mind, of the capsules and the times when you were free. No.
Way too early.
Yo.
Yo.
Patrick not paying attention again. Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you may be. We are happy to see everyone today on this glorious Saturday. I am Adam. Patrick, say hello.
How's it going, guys?
So if you're new here, like if this is your first time, either your first live stream with Guy in a Cube or just finding Guy in a Cube for the first time, put hashtag new in the chat. I'm just curious to see how many new folks there are today. Always excited to see new folks around. So Neil already said that this was his first time being in the live stream. So welcome, Neil. Glad to have you. All right. Oh, a bunch of new folks here today. So we got David, Gonzalo, Ija. Wow. Look at all those new folks. Wow. Donnie, Nick, Future Analytics, Aman. Wow. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Glad to have you aboard. Also, Thomas, old. And James. Nice. And then Kevin, welcome. So he said he overslept last time, so that's okay. All right. These are recorded also. And then Alex, welcome, buddy. Good to have you, brother. All right. So one thing, just want to say thank you to all the members that support Guy in a Cube. And so these are folks that help just, with their dollars to help do what we do. So they help support us, and it's very much appreciated. You can go to the link below if you want to help participate, or you can hit the join button down near the subscribe button. So would love to have you help support us. So with that also, there are some changes. I announced this to members last week. I'm going to be making some changes to the tier structure tomorrow. And so if you're an existing member and you want to continue being a member, from what I've seen, YouTube does some wonky things and you may get bumped out. And so you may have to rejoin if you want to continue supporting. So keep an eye on that. Usually it takes about a week or so for them to approve the new stuff. So just keep your eyes on it. And then we'll probably mention it again in next week's live stream. So, all right. Going to put the reminder in the chat again. So please be sure to prefix your questions with Q colon in front of it so we can queue it up. I've got a bunch of them queued already. And anything else, Patrick, top of mind?
Nope. Can't think of anything.
All right. One other thing. Sorry, I do have one more thing.
All right.
People are curious. We showed this last time. So just in case you're curious from a live stream setup and the amazingness that we do here, this is my setup on my end with all the equipment that I'm running to make this stream happen. Lots of crazy stuff in there, microphones and stream decks, lights, Go XLRs, all the goodies. And then Patrick's is not as complex, but it is still amazing and gives him awesome quality. So that is what we use on our end. So, all right. With that, Otto, hey buddy, welcome. And VJ upgraded his membership. Thank you, VJ. And then Kevin, Go XLR. Not going to find it. That's true. A lot of the streaming equipment with the COVID situation, everyone's kind of gone crazy with trying to get all that streaming equipment. We've been very fortunate. A lot of the stuff we ordered before everything hit, and then we had to get Patrick a few more things, and we've been lucky that we've had no problem getting it. So good luck if you can.
Just got here yesterday.
New tripod,
It just got here yesterday. Yeah.
Nice. All right, Patrick. With that, let's get into the questions. Let's see. First up. All right, Donald. He was the early bird, the first one to comment in the chat. So Donald, good to see you as always. So I'd love an opinion on how you think Azure Synapse fits in with Power BI. And that is so timely with what we've been dealing with that. Man, last week was like all about Synapse. I know Build put a lot of that into the forefront. And so, I mean, all week long, man, we've been talking Synapse and Power BI and Power BI Premium and like all this good stuff. You want to take a stab at it, Patrick?
Well, I don't. Honestly, I don't. I just want to say that we're going to have a video. I don't. I really don't. I don't, because I don't think I'll do it justice, Adam. I really don't. It's going to be tightly integrated. It's going to offer lots and lots of great capabilities especially from an ad hoc perspective when you think about aggregations, large data volumes, and things like that. But we got a video coming. Stay tuned. That's what I would say. Stay tuned. We have a really good video coming. But you've had some better dealings with this.
Had a lot of dealings with it. Donald, also thank you for becoming a supporter. Much appreciated. So with Synapse though, Synapse think of it as SQL, right? It's a data source, right? And so the backbone of it is SQL Server, or SQL Data Warehouse, if you remember that. But Synapse is more than that because it helps you combine things, or the overall vision of that is that it's going to help remove the burden of connecting things from an Azure all-up perspective and just allow you to get your data in a place where you can use it in things like Power BI. And there's integrations with Power BI to help you use Power BI more effectively, but it's a data source, right? And you can do some awesome things when you think about scale. So when we really think about scale, this is where Azure Synapse Analytics is going to really come into the picture. And I know Patrick and I have both been working with customers that are doing that, and it's
big customers.
Yeah, it's crazy to see some of the response that Azure Synapse Analytics can give. And obviously, as that makes headway as well, it's just going to get better features and better capabilities. Power BI is right along with it as a first-class citizen with Azure Synapse Analytics. And we start thinking about materialized views and the ability for Power BI and Synapse to talk to each other to optimize those items. So that's how it fits in. It's a data source, first and foremost. So, but it's really when we talk scale.
Yeah, we were talking to someone. They were like, "There's no connector for Synapse in Power BI Desktop." Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
Azure Data Warehouse.
There is. Yep. So, wow. All right. So we got a bunch of new supporters too. So Samir, Kelly, James, welcome. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the next one. So Laura had a good question. You're going to like this one, Patrick. So why do measures now include table names? Doesn't matter where my measure lives. So go ahead.
No. I think we get this question every week, right? I think we get this question every week, and it does. And you have some really good, compelling reasons. I will say this: I am on chapter 5. So yesterday, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Yesterday, I started reading the definitive guide to DAX version 2 again. And I
was going to add that again.
Yes. I started from chapter 2, and I'm not thoroughly reading the beginning chapters again, but now I'm on chapter 5 in the definitive guide to DAX, and they explain. Marco Alberto, one of them, whoever wrote it, explains why you should not put your table names in front of your measures. Just don't do it. Just listen to what these guys say. Don't do it. Column names, with your columns, put your table name. With your measures, don't put your table names. And that's a rule of thumb. Just follow the rule.
It helps with readability. So even when you're in a measure, like you can easily identify, okay, is this a measure versus a column in a table? So it helps you with that. But also, if you end up moving the home table of it, and you have that table name in front of it, you just broke your measure.
Yeah, you just broke your measure.
Yep. So
Adam, what's the importance though? You made some good points last week about where it lives, right? So remember, we did a video on measure tables and moving your measures to a single place, but with Excel and Q&A,
there's some limitations in terms of measure tables, but not measures in general. Like measures are great. But yeah.
But she made a point.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
Yeah. So she said she agrees, but why does Power BI do it? I don't know. I think it's just a general thing when it adds a item or you drag something in that it does that. I don't know specifically that answer. So it's good feedback. Maybe go to ideas.powerbi.com and I'm sure there's an item out there to do that. I don't know why that default behavior is there.
I'll be honest with you though. Whenever I'm referencing a measure, I automatically start with an open bracket. I just know it's just become like it's a memory muscle, right? And so if I'm referencing a column, I start typing the table name. If I'm referencing a measure, I start typing a bracket. So I never even noticed that it automatically did it. So
well, and I have there's kind of a muscle memory that I have where if I spot it, I immediately remove the table name.
It's a good point she made though. It's a good point.
I agree. All right. Queuing up a few more questions here.
I need to raise my camera up some because now my head's getting cut off.
Patrick likes to mess around with his setup. My stuff just stays where it is. I never have to mess with it. So
that's because you have 18 cameras.
That's yeah, sure. All right. So next question from ComInfo. Wow, chat is going crazy. So is there a way to find out which tables or views are used in the report and which are not, so I can delete the ones we're not using?
There's a Stephanie Bruno, a good friend of ours. She works for a wonderful nonprofit called EggPath. She has a tool. She's got a tool. I will find the link for it while we're doing this, and I'll post it in the chat. It's like PBI Field Finder or something like that. It's on GitHub. I'll find it and I'll put it in the chat.
Yes. So, and the way that this works is there are, like, if you actually connect to the model itself, so in other tools you can query, there's DMVs and whatnot that you can query, and then you'd have to match that up with some of the visual definitions, so crack the PBIX and zip, but Stephanie's tool does all of that for you. So
here it goes. It's in the chat.
Awesome. So, yep.
Boom.
So it's a cool tool, and I think Rezarad at radicad.com, I think he has a tool. Last time I played with it, though, it didn't seem, I was missing something. So I don't know what it was.
So there is something. Melissa Coates recently announced her updated deployment white paper.
Yes,
and at the end of that white paper, the enterprise deployment, if you go towards the end of that white paper in her resources, she has a list of all these resources at the end of that white paper. That's something else I started reading too. But
nice. That's a long white paper.
And it is a long white paper. We're actually a resource in that white paper. So it's all the way, go down to like page 239 or something like that. It's way at the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Mohit's got a question here. Seems to be a lot of stuff on measures today. So Mohit's from Gurgaon, India. Awesome. I get confused sometimes between measures and columns. Can you clarify it and when to use what? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
First, go watch a video. We do have a video talking about calculated columns and measures. And so a calculated column is at the row level. It's a row by row by row by row thing, right? So if you create a calculated column, you write a DAX expression, it's going to be at the context of that, that row. And that's actually persisted back to memory. So
materialized.
You got to be careful.
It's
materialized, right? And so you have to really be careful with those. A measure, the way I describe a measure is it's a holistic calculation over the entire table. So if you're doing a sum, right, it's going to sum that entire column, and it's not for each row in the table. So If you can avoid them, use iterative functions to avoid calculated columns. We talked about this. I think it was Teo Lachev who wrote a really good post about how calculated columns slowed the processing of his model down. It was really CPU intensive, or was it memory intensive? I forget.
Yeah. So Alex commented that he hates calculated columns. There's a place for them, right? I mean, there's a place for them. But you got to think about what is it you want to actually put into the model itself from an actual in-memory and on-disk perspective. Yeah. So it can bloat your model size versus from a measure perspective, it's run at query time, right? So it's not materialized at that point. And the other thing to look at is you can do things like sumx and whatnot instead of actually, so if you just do a sum, you're thinking, oh, well, I need to get that data from a row by row perspective. And so some people create the calculated column. It's like, just do a sumx instead. You don't have to do the calculated column. So, I would also add in the definitive guide to DAX as well. Check out the Vertipack stuff at the end of the book, because it goes through and how those items are affected in terms of the compression algorithm and in what order those things actually get processed. And so that has a lot to bear on what's going on as well. So that could affect refresh times. It could do all sorts of things. So,
and think about your calculated column. Adam and I talk about this all the time. If you think you need a calculated column, can you do it in the source? Can you do it? If you could do it in the source, push it back to the source. If you can't do it in the source, can you do it in Power Query, right? It could affect your refresh times, but where do you want to pay the cost? At refresh, or when a user is actually interacting with your report? And if you can't do it in Power Query, use DAX as a last resort.
Yep. All right. So Patrick, Simran made a comment that they can't see your link that you put. I think it's for Power BI Helper. Can you put it in the chat again?
Let's do it again. Okay.
Yeah, I like Chewy's. As everything, it depends, and where calculated column fits it in.
It's not.
Just put a say hello in the chat, Patrick. I think it's because you're not blessed, so it doesn't let you do. Okay. There you go.
Can you see my hello?
Yeah, hang on. There we go. All right, now add the link.
I did.
Try it one more time.
Oh Jesus! I'm spamming.
Alex put in Power BI Helper from Radicad.
He put Radicads in.
Okay, I don't see your. Oh, Casper's here too. Hey,
Casper.
Casper. So I don't know why you can't put the link. Hey, put it in the Teams. Put it in Teams. I'll put it in the chat for you. Oh my goodness.
It works in Teams.
It's amazing that Teams works.
Whoa.
What?
I prefer Teams.
Okay.
Maybe Patrick needs to become
there's
a
the
sponsor.
link. There's the link. It was Videoland? That's it? No, that's VLC. What are you doing?
No.
Why'd you put a...
You chose the second one. You chose the
That's
first
not the right
one.
link. Goodness. Oh my goodness.
It's right there.
There we go. There we go. I got it. I was going to say, I thought it was a GitHub.
That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
My goodness.
It was you.
Oh, Patrick. There we go. There's the right one. All right. Whew. Oh my goodness. Ignore the video land. Larry, thank you for becoming a supporter. Much appreciated.
Casper must be really bored.
VLC for Windows 95. Yeah. So the VLC thing, that was for when we were doing the MBES piece. Something.
Oh,
we were doing.
Yeah. MBES was fun, man. That was fun.
All right. Back to the questions. Here we go. Jessica, I love this. It's real. It is real. The struggle is real. That's for sure.
I love this. Boop.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're working with me, it is.
This is real. All right. Juan's got a question. Any improvements in app navigation in the coming months? So I think they go GA with that recently.
Yep.
I think they went GA. And one of the announcements, one of the things Wukash put out there was, I believe, that they're keeping the old navigation option there in addition to having the new navigation. So past that, there's nothing publicly that I'm aware of that's coming for that. So stay tuned for blog announcements.
Yeah.
Let's see here. VJ. How to filter multiple columns in same table using DAX. Somehow not getting results. Planning to create a video on that. Oh, all right, that's good. Multiple columns in the same table. I would think with filter you can do that.
Yeah.
So from a calculate expression, you can do that.
Yeah. I'm not sure where's the challenge.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what your DAX statement looks like. So from calculate perspective, you should be able to do multiple filters on that. So that should work.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll say this. Let me say this. So Marco and Alberto, they're putting out a series of videos about I watched all of them yesterday afternoon, all their videos, their recent ones, and Marco is focusing on using DAX Studio. And if you're struggling with anything in the query editor in Power BI, you should take that code over to DAX Studio and watch a couple of Marco's video. He shows you how to evaluate measures, how to filter tables and things like that, filter measures. And you can walk through those steps in DAX Studio and then validate it in DAX Studio, then bring it back to Power BI. It makes it so much easier than getting all the errors and syntaxes in Power BI.
Yeah. Sean said 2D all the way. I'm assuming there's some discussion regarding 3D. Are we talking about 3D pie charts? I don't know.
Everything.
I just saw 2D all the way, but
every visual should be 3D. Every visual should be 3D. That's what
I saw some question. I think it was in Reddit. Someone asked a question of. Sorry, this is not part of this, but I saw it and I'm just like, why would you want that? They say, can I have an animated pie chart? I'm like, what? Why?
You know what I did do though? You know what I did recently? I made an animated bar chart. And so using the play axis, I did. I have to show you this. I may even do a video on it. Okay. And so I have a horizontal bar chart.
Yep.
And they wanted to see, this was around COVID, and what they wanted to see was, how the number of cases. And they wanted the bars it was by state. The axis was by state. And so if you go to edit interactions and change it from whatever the default is to filter and use the custom visual play, it does it. It moves the bars up and down. I may do a video on that. Yeah. Nobody will watch it, but I may do a video. That may be my 2-minute Tuesday this week.
I think you'll get more views than a video on Synapse, but that's just my thought.
Yes.
Patrick and I always have a discussion about, I got this great video idea. I'm like, nobody's gonna watch that, man. Even though we think it's cool, nobody's gonna watch that. Micah, welcome, buddy. So thank you for the super chat. And so Mike had a question. Have you guys been kicking the tires on deployment pipeline? I can't get it to work with my incremental refresh stuff. It's interesting. I'm actually working on a video. I was hoping to get it last Thursday, but I ran into my own problem. Of note, don't use the new enhanced dataset metadata option preview feature in Power BI Desktop that caused some problems for me. I haven't, with incremental refresh itself, I haven't played around with that specifically, but it'd be interesting to see what you're seeing on that.
Casper said it doesn't work. Casper said it's not supported yet.
Casper said doesn't work.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. All right. Ooh.
I gotta test that.
So many questions. I don't know what just happened to my screen. That thing just wigged out. All right. All right. Moving on. Let's go to. All right. Nick's got a question. Is there a DAX equivalent of the M Query List.Dates?
Just did List.Dates for a COVID project.
What is it?
Calendar, right?
Well, so List.Dates is going to do what?
It's just going to give you a sequential list of dates, I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Calendar Auto would do that from within side of it would. So Calendar Auto would generate a list of date, or Calendar Auto would generate a list of dates based on. So Calendar will do it based on a given date range that you provide, and Calendar Auto will look at the existing date fields within side of your model and base it on that. So probably just that.
Because what list.dates, I think you give it a date, you supply it how, the increment and how many days you want to go. And so you would need to do, it's a little different in DAX, but you still can do it.
Yep. And then Bertolon made a comment of value.dates. That's just going to give you a list of an existing date column. If you have a date table named dates, it'll give you a listing of that. But if you wanted to generate a list of dates, you'd have to use the Calendar or Calendar Auto.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Good question. All right. Let's do. Trying to see. So this one's for you, Patrick. So, Avinash said, "Can we use 2 different data sets for paginated reports?"
You can use 1 million data sets for paginated reports. It's not like Power BI. Yeah, absolutely you can. You can. So when you open up Power BI Report Builder, you right click on data source, you can add as many as you want. You can just add them. You can actually have, Adam hates when I say this, you can have multiple live connected. They're not really live connected, but you can connect to multiple Power BI data sets right now, right? Power BI, we just, at MBAS, Christian just said, oh, it's coming. In paginated reports, you can totally do it right now today.
Yep. Patrick, sweet mistress.
Because paginated reports, they simply excel.
Yeah. But you know what else does? It's like Kerberos. It just works.
Oh my God. I had a conversation about Kerberos yesterday. I was like, where is Adam? This is bananas.
All right. Help BI's got a question here. Any plans for Python and Power BI data flows? Not to my knowledge.
Not that I know of.
I don't think so. So one of the challenges that's going to be there from a refresh perspective. If you're using Python today with Power BI to refresh, you have to use the personal gateway. You can't use this enterprise or standard mode of the gateway. And data flows only supports the enterprise or standard mode of the gateway. What do we?
Somebody asked me to show off my coffee mug, so I'm just showing. It's a Yeti. It keeps my coffee hot.
Or as my 12-year-old daughter, when we got our thing from MBAS, she's just like, "Oh, hey, Dad, you got a wine cup?" And I'm like, "No." Oh my goodness.
I gave mine away. Oh, I don't drink wine.
Well, I mean, you can put whatever. It's a liquid, right? It doesn't have to be wine.
It's just too curved. I like it. And anyway, let's keep going.
Could be bourbon.
Could be bourbon.
Could be bourbon. All right. Shrikant says, is there any possibility to extract data from matrix visual as it is to Excel? I mean, you can extract data. Yeah, you can extract data, but it's not going to be formatted the way it is in Power BI. If you want the format, then paginated reports. So that's where that's going to be. Yep. All right, cool.
That was an easy question.
Yeah. All right.
But also, right, Adam, but don't forget about analyzing Excel.
Analyzing Excel. Absolutely, you say no. Well, but that doesn't give you the look, right? That's if you want to connect the data.
But you can connect and build your pivot table.
Then you can build your pivot table. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Michael Tenner agrees with you. He said, build a pivot table. Amen.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Yes.
All right. Narana John's got, how can we convert a model from import to direct query? Rebuild it. It's not really converting, but so you can go from direct query to import. You cannot go the other way.
But you can't go the other way.
Can't go the other way. It's a one-way thing.
Once you go
it is not bi-directional. Yes. It doesn't go both ways.
Once you go import, you don't go back. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. So you would have to rebuild it. Sorry.
The whole thing.
Ideas.powerbi.com. All right. Let me make sure. Sorry, we've been
having fun. We just been having fun, man.
Yeah. Let me. Are you watching the chat, by the way?
It's bananas. I can't keep up with it.
I know. I'm trying to make sure I queued up because we were talking for a little bit, so I'm trying to make sure I queue up all the questions.
There's way too many.
There's a lot of questions.
Casper's there answering a lot of them.
Casper's answering a lot. I love you, Casper, man. Good to see you in the chat, brother.
Yeah.
Casper. I miss the Netherlands. I want to go back again. I miss traveling.
Yes, I want to go back again.
It's traveling.
He said he's trying. He said he's trying. He said, I'm trying.
Mark, appreciate the super emote, buddy. Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
I want to go back to the Netherlands. I do want to go back.
I would say that I think the Netherlands is probably the country I've traveled to the most.
Remember when you went the wrong way and you were stuck in your car?
Oh gosh, that was horrible. I was so tired. Oh, that was so bad. And then the little kids on
your toilet
and
in your back
and I was like trying to back out of this little alleyway that I couldn't go through, and like there were these kids on bikes behind me and they wouldn't move. They just looked at me like, what? And I'm like, dude, I'm about to run over you. Get out of the way.
Alex just said, remember what happened the last time, though? Oh, yes, I remember. We won't talk about that here.
Yes. All right. Sorry.
What happens in the Netherlands stays in the Netherlands. Thank you, Casper.
Oh, all right. Amit's got a question here. Moving the train along. How do I identify calculated column when we switch relationship layer? Calculated column icon is not visible on relationship layer. Oh.
Yes. You're talking about the data in the data model view.
Yes, in the model view.
Ideas.
Ideas. I know, Patrick, you've talked about that in some of your videos too. About so it's not just the calculated column icon, but it's also like the icon to see if it's like being summarized or whatever. The summarization.
If it's an implicit measure, right?
Right.
Yeah. They don't have it.
Yep.
So.
It'd be good to get those same icons in the model view as it is in the other views. So yeah, ideas.powerbi.com. That is a real problem. It's a little thing, but it's helpful. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So interesting. So PA, you can go from direct query to import and import to direct query. There are many videos. I don't know how you can do that. Because from a storage mode perspective, if you've stuck it in import, there's no option to go back to direct query as far as I know.
It's completely disabled.
Yeah, so I don't know how you're going back to import from direct query. So, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we're wrong. That's entirely possible. Yeah. But okay.
Power BI, but Casper made a point. He's right. If you're in SQL Server Data Tools.
SQL Server Data Tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in SQL Server Data Tools, I just did that. You can go back and forth, but not in the desktop.
Yeah, in Power BI desktop you cannot. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Mohit. That one.
So many questions.
All right, Mohit's got one. Using Python to draw visuals in Power BI, I tried but faced some issues in using the columns from my table. Gonna be honest, haven't played much with Python. There may be some limitations there. I'd have to know what the error was and what you're actually trying to do. I don't know off the top of my head. Patrick, any thoughts? You're the Python master.
No. Yeah, right. Yeah, no.
Yeah, we don't actually play that much with the Python piece, so.
The only when I did it, it took a little bit to get it all configured and set up in the desktop, but as long as once it's configured properly with all the right libraries or whatever it is you do with this Python and this R stuff, it just worked.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Trying to see. All right, Christian's got a question here. What would be the most efficient way, Patrick likes efficient, you would choose to check the fact table with dimension table to make sure all dimensions are captured. Oh. So in your, so when you import the given fact table, so there's an option there. I don't know, Patrick, if you can show it. There's an option there to select related tables. And then on those given dimensions, you could do it again to try and get those.
Check fact tables, dimension tables, make sure all dimensions are captured.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You want me to show it?
No, I think I know what you're talking about. So, you're not showing my screen.
Well, no. Are you gonna show it, or you want me?
Open. Yes, right. I'm ready to go.
All right. Go to Patrick's.
Okay.
All right. Do it.
Until you could see the.
Oh, that's not what he's talking
about. So I made a new.
That's not what he's talking.
Then I don't know what he's talking about.
Let me go over to mine.
Yeah.
All right. Coming over to mine.
No idea what he's talking about.
So if I go to, let's go to here. All right. So if I select a table.
You're talking about get data experience.
Right. So if I do fact internet sales, there's an option down here called see related tables or select related tables, right? So if I select that, this is based on, this is dependent on you having relationships in your actual database. Yeah. And so if you don't, then you get this nice, awesome, glorious error. Not error, but information box. But if the relationships were established on the back end, then it would go and select the related items. Our database administrator, though, was lazy and not efficient and didn't actually create those relationships. So it's not working here. I don't know.
He's just as good as our team's administrator.
Yeah, our team's administrator sucks. So, all right. So anyway, you could do that, and then on a given dimension, if there's like a, if you're doing like a snowflake schema, you could go ahead and select the dimension and then do it again, and it would grab those items. That's the only way I really know of doing that.
Yeah, I thought he was talking about from a data perspective, though. I didn't even think. I was thinking it like I was looking at some of the chat. I thought they were talking about something else. All right, keep going. Yeah.
Cool. So Zine's got a question here. When composite model will be available in Power BI? It's already available. It's already there. Composite models are already there. If you're talking about the new items with like doing a data set and mashing it up with Excel, the Power BI release notes have September as the date for that. So September, that's what's in the public release notes. And just so, it's a good point. I don't know if everyone's aware of that, but let me put that in the in the chat. I'll put it in the chat. There we go. All right. There we go. So check out the release notes. Those have dates on. So it's usually the bigger items that are in there, not like little small features, but usually the bigger ticket items will be in there. So, Michael, do you have any idea when lasso select as filter for visuals are coming? Great feature for scatter plot. Yep, absolutely agree. I've heard that from other folks as well. I don't have any info for you on that. Ideas.powerbi.com. So I'm not aware of it coming anytime soon. So echo. Here we go. All right. Cool. Let's see here.
Jeez, man. It's
I know. Actually, I need to go back real quick and queue up. Make sure we got these so they don't get lost. So Sean actually had a question here. Grab that while we're here. Do you guys prefer developing light or dark mode?
I like dark.
I like dark. So I dark all the things.
Yep.
Now, so now that being said, I would say if you're presenting something, don't present in dark mode.
Yes.
Present it in light mode because it's easier to read from a screen perspective. But when I'm personally doing things on my own, I have everything set to dark mode. So if you're presenting, save your viewers' eyes and do it in light mode. Don't do it in dark mode. Good question. All right. Let's see here. Light attracts bugs. MD. Light attracts bugs. This is true.
I saw that.
This is true. That is funny. I like that.
It can be some very bad bugs too.
Yeah. Yeah, and PA again said dark is the best way, easier on the eyes. That's true if it's for you. But again, if you're presenting, don't do dark mode. So, let's see here. Alex. So, all right, Alex gets me on this all the time. So here, let me pull this up because this is a thing. This is a thing. Hang on. All right.
It's a wave.
It's a thing. All right. So let me go. I'm going over to my machine. We're gonna get Alex's. All right. Oh, they changed it here too. All right. All right. It used to be release notes, right? So, but now it's release plans. And then, so Alex always, he corrected me before saying like it's release wave here. And then this used to say release notes. Look, I'm old school. Yeah. So it used to be release
he's
notes.
He's an older guy.
In fact, let's go back to spring 18. See, it used to be called release notes. And then they changed it to release plans and release waves, and it's release things, and I don't know.
He's an older fella, Alex. He's an older fella. Forgive him.
This is true. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's go back. How are we doing on time? We got 20 minutes. Wow, we're plowing through these.
You got 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Let's grab sorting. No. Let's see here. Is there a way? Oh, this is a good one. Venue. Is there a way to hide page tabs in the Power BI service? I think so. So let's go. So this is a great thing. When Patrick and this happened in the PowerPoint video that I released last week, or this last week, where Chris Hamill had pinged me asking me that question, saying like, "Hey, does this work?" And I'm like, "I don't know, never tried. Let's try it." I'm assuming my assumption is the answer is yes to this, but let's go in and double check. So, if we go into a report, yes, I've got it, and then we go to edit, and then I can right click and say, "Oh, you can't see any of that."
I can't see that bar is in the way.
And then you see hide page. So if I right click on a given page, so you have to be in edit mode, right? So and a consumer of the report's not going to be able to do that, but the end user can. So again, right click and then hide page, right there in edit mode. So I can do the same thing from Power BI desktop perspective.
I was just watching you zoom it, and I hadn't presented like a full presentation in so long, and I had to do it yesterday or day before yesterday, and I forgot some of the key clicks. God, man, my skills are diminishing with all this stuff going around with the world.
So what you're saying is you're old as well.
I'm mature.
Mature, okay. Well seasoned, as Deanna Troy would tell Riker.
Hey, my birthday's coming up, man.
It is. You're going to be 28? Oh, 38. No.
Mm-hmm. I'll be 38.
Awesome. Well, happy early birthday. So on Tuesday, everyone that's on Twitter, be sure to everyone spam him. Oh, like Alex.
What did you say?
Mature? No, just no.
Mature. No.
He doesn't think you're mature. I don't. It's those young whippersnappers in their 20s. They're not. They're not.
No. That's what's wrong. I'm too young.
Laura, 38 is young. If you believe that he's turning 38.
We great early in my family. That's all. We just great early in my family.
I went bald when I was like 20, so whatever. That was last year. Okay.
All right.
Anyway,
back to the question.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I keep messing stuff up. Sorry.
All right, Rishi, buddy. Has there been any telemetry yet on Personalise Visuals and how much the feature is being used? So that's a new feature that was just released recently. In terms of
Recently, right?
telemetry on how many, I mean, that's an internal Microsoft thing. I'm sure they've got telemetry. They have telemetry on all the features, so they can see what the usage is. There's nothing publicly I've seen Microsoft share on that, so no idea. Don't know. I can definitively say yes, they have that information. They have not shared. They typically don't share that type of information, so not sure. I'm curious though, folks in the chat, have you used Personalise, the new Personalise Visuals stuff? Do you like it? Is it good? Be interesting to know. Damu, teens in a cube. Don't know about that. Don't know about that. So, Gil said yes, and Gil thinks it's awesome. Laman also thinks it's awesome. Wyatt, good to see you, buddy. Wyatt thinks it's a great idea, but not enabled for his reports. That's okay. It's all right. Amit. I can't not put this question up. Who's your favorite Avenger?
Okay, it's everybody's favorite Avenger. Right? Oh shit, I can't find him. Oh shit. You go first.
Okay. All right. I will jump over to I will just move and let other people guess who it is. I don't know. I wonder.
That guy with the shield.
The one with the shield. The one with the shield. That's what I showed. So, Andy, this is a. Oh my goodness. Andy said, "What is an Avenger?" They are Avengers are amazing people with special skills. Superpowers.
You know what I saw the other day? And I was
don't.
trying to figure out how to buy it. I saw a Millennium Falcon cutting board.
Yeah. So I've
like that.
I've been telling people that I want the back half acre or the back acre and a half of my property. It's all woods right now.
that.
I want to clear that out, and I want to build an actual 2-scale model of the Millennium Falcon in my backyard. That's my bucket list item.
To that?
I did not actually.
That's not my response.
No.
Bucket list for me is to become a famous actor. So.
Oh yeah, no.
That's my retirement job.
Yep. So also, Casper added that there's going to be an update to Personal Visuals to allow restrictions to the choices presented. That sounds really good. Because right now you can kind of do anything, and to me that kind of was a little bit scary thinking about like what it would actually do to the model potentially. But nice. Thanks, Casper. All right. Kevin, you're famous to him.
Thank you, Kevin.
Hey, so there are times, and someone asked this recently. Someone put it in the comments of one of the videos, and every once in a while it happens. Rishi, thanks for becoming a supporter, buddy.
Thank you so much.
They're like, hey, do you know that you look like Will Smith?
I get jiggy with it.
He does get jiggy with it. So, all right. Let's see here. All right. Let's see here. Mitch got a good question here. What do you think of including data flows in the architecture in combination with aggregations and composite models, direct query, and import? Sure. So
Yeah, why not?
So in terms of, I mean, I don't know where you would fit it in. I mean, obviously, take advantage of features that improve your model and improve your design and workflow and data and whatnot. So absolutely. In terms of them all together, I mean, from an aggregations perspective, the base table is going to be direct query. And then you can create an imported table. I don't know why you, you could technically, I guess, have your imported ag table coming from data flows. So that may be an option for you. Because it's just an imported table, right? We don't care where it came from. right?
Just curious of the whole model architect though, how it looks.
Yeah.
Like, what are we trying to do? What are we trying to solve?
Yes. So I would focus on the problem and where your data is actually flowing, and then use the feature that best fits that option. So there's nothing wrong with using all of those in a model, but in terms of, all in the same, it depends, right? So it depends on your architecture. It depends where your data is flowing from and what makes sense for your organization. So, yeah.
So he said hundreds of billions of trillions of rows.
What? Where?
Micah,
I don't
right?
see that. Oh, Micah?
The last comment.
Oh,
Yeah.
Micah. Yeah, Micah would say that. Yes. All right. Let's see. VJ's got a question out there. Planning to create a model where I want to track all infected people due to COVID. Okay.
Yeah.
Continued. Wanted to track infected people as a chain. Like if A infected B and B infected C and C infected. So it's almost like a parent-child type relationship. So you can do that.
Yeah.
There are,
data.
yeah, you got to get the data. Make sure that you have the parent ID. So you've got to be able to track that, right? Because that's the only way you're going to be able to know if one was infected by another. So there's got to be a parent. And then there are
neat custom visuals.
Yeah. I mean, then it's going to come down to your DAX, though, also. So some of your DAX is going to have to account for that and then go from there. So, yeah. Yep. Cool.
I want, is that, I can't, that would be really difficult to get that data. Because there's some PI, I mean, there's some PII, there's tons of PII in there. So, I don't know who would express that.
Yep. Aditya's got
Good idea,
got a question. Just like sync slicers, can we do the same with filters?
Sync slicers.
Sync slicers. So sync filters?
Yeah. I don't think
I mean, so you can have, so I don't know that you need to, because the whole idea of sync slicers is so that given slicer can be accounted for on other pages. Whereas from a filter level, you can already add a page level filter. Right, so you've already got that capability. So yeah, it's already there.
Yeah.
So, all right. What we got? We're getting through a lot of these.
Oh, man.
I'm impressed.
Questions in there, man. Not gonna make it. You got 9 minutes.
Why are you watching your clock, man? Don't do that.
That's a lot. I keep seeing all these questions come through.
I know. Chewy's got a question. Why the PowerShell commandlets for gateway management can only run on PowerShell core? That is a great question. Because that's how they designed it to work. Yeah, I don't have a better answer than that. It's
I don't know.
yeah. And so some of that, though, also from PowerShell core perspective, I think is portability across platforms. And so that's a reason for targeting the core piece of this as opposed to the native stuff for Windows. So that's probably the real reason. So if that's something, I don't know if that would change. So yeah, ideas.powerbi.com. I don't know. I doubt that would change though. Cool. All right. Patrick, this one's for you. Jai asks, can we have search options and parameters of paginated reports?
You can have parameters. Search is a little challenging. You actually need to do it. I mean, you can have a free text box and you can type it in, but your backend source, you would have to write the query so it supports like a wildcard or something like that on the column that you're trying to search. Just had this question the other day, and I actually have to build a demo for it to show someone. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
That's a good
Here's.
question, though.
All right, this is an interesting question. Sorry, I'm kind of randomly picking some. How can we pass Windows SSO credentials to Power BI so that premium capacity users can seamlessly consume reports without being bogged down by login screens constantly? So first thing you're going to want to do from an Azure AD perspective is to use something like ADFS and then have that combined with your on-premises domain. So like when we're at Microsoft, so from a Microsoft perspective, I know they've got SSO enabled. And so when you go to a site and you go to log in, it just automatically goes in. Now, there's a case of if your Azure AD auth token is cached, you may still be presented on the Power BI page to hit the login button. But if ADFS is all set up and you're like on premises or whatnot, when you hit that, it will automatically log. Like you won't be presented with the username and password or any of that. So I do know that even with the single sign-on stuff with ADFS, sometimes you will see that login, the initial login page where you have to hit sign in. But after that, it's clear sailing. So, and then as long as the Azure AD auth token is cached, then you should be good to go. Yep. All right, cool. All right, let's see here. Shrikar's got a question. What's the best way to customize tabs in a report as a drop-down menu on left side of panel? Don't think you can. Oh. I think we're talking about in the service. So in the service, you've got the left tab where you've got the pages. They want a drop-down menu. So in the service, there's not a way to do that. If you created your own, if you went with Power BI embedded, then you could actually get a list of pages and do whatever you want from a user experience on that side of it. But in the Power BI service, I'm not aware of an option to have like a page drop-down instead of the list. You can hide the list and then show the list, but in terms of the drop-down, not aware of.
You make your
a
own
way to do that,
right, with buttons and stuff.
Yeah, but not a drop-down.
No, not a drop-down.
Not a drop-down. All right. All right. Usage metric dataset gets auto-created first time when we request the same. My question is there a way to control the refresh schedule of this dataset? Note, I'm I'm a pro user, but not an admin. So when you have the metrics report, let's see here. Let's go to
showing your screen?
No, I'm trying to get it queued up first, but I'm not even seeing where. Change this interface, and I haven't played around with it enough to know where it is. Here, I'll go over to mine. So figure out how to get the usage metrics. Where'd it go? There used to be a button there that you could do get usage metrics.
If you click you gotta click the report.
Oh.
Yeah, go into the report.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Inactive.
Yeah,
I don't care.
up there. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So when you do that, it should be. Can I scroll? Is it not listed there? Shows you how much I played around with it. Should. Yeah, I thought there was an option. Settings. No, I thought in the dataset, I thought the dataset was there and you could actually control the schedule refresh of it. Not finding it though. I thought it actually had the dataset there. Doesn't look like it is on screen. Yeah, I'm not seeing the item there. So if you don't have direct access to the data set, you're not going to be able to control it. So I know like in a template app that you do have access to those items. And so let me go, sorry, one more thing. Thomas says only on the Power BI admin level. Of note, I'm a admin of this.
Yeah.
But
do it. That's why.
But I don't even see the option. Let's see. If I do a save a copy.
And there's so many questions.
Saved. That goes to my workspace. I don't see it there either. I'd have to play around with it. Really, you're going to want to, the data set is where it's going to be. So if you can't see the data set, then it's not going to be a particular option. So let's see, Casper's texting me. The admin metrics support it, not the workspace. Okay, cool. Here you go. So, although the admin metrics I don't think are out yet. That's coming soon. Yeah, the admin metrics still have the old stuff. All right, cool. So if that's something you want, I'd say ideas.powerbi.com. All right, let's do. All right, Thomas got a question here. All right, why do we spend so much time doing COVID-19 aggregated reports when we know that the data quality sucks?
Oh man,
I think that's a question for smarter people than us. I mean, people want to know, right? And that's just my personal take. People want to know. And the other thing I would say is just from a Power BI exercise perspective, it's a data set that's relatively, it's available and it's something that's relevant to current times. And so just from an exercise of building out a report, it's an interesting data set to work with. So.
And I can say a lot of the videos that you guys have seen from the past couple of weeks have been things that I've encountered or learned building out COVID reports for, various projects that I've been working on. So
Yep. So
good way to learn stuff and break stuff. Yep.
Yeah. Well, and also there's a point to be made about, because you mentioned, data quality sucks. That's a great thing to have, though, to master Power Query, right? So Power Query, you can try and clean up some of the data. And so it helps you build that skill, right? So maybe that's a reason why people want to do it, because, we know that the structure, depending where you're getting it, it changes and it breaks and all that stuff, but it helps you with learning Power Query and Power BI. So,
It's a tough one.
Yep.
Wow,
Yep.
it went by too fast. This went by too fast.
It did. All right, guys. So that brings us to the end of the stream. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on Saturday. We definitely appreciate it. Love all the questions. I know we get a lot of them. I got to talk to Patrick about some thoughts I have on all of these questions. So I have ideas. But we will be with you next Saturday. So looking forward to it. Have a great and safe week. And we love you guys. All right. We'll see you in the next video.